All right, everybody. Apologize for the graininess of this video, but it's damn near dark in here, so I'm surprised my webcam's working this good. I want to work on something with you. I want to teach you something. I want to get you to think outside of the box for a second, and that's why I'm doing something I normally don't do. Is I'm actually working on teaching you the definition of a specific scenario. Okay, and the scenario is silence equals consent. Recently, somebody that I consider a good friend was arrested, and when he got to court, he didn't say anything, which normally, for the average person, is a really good idea, because the average Joe is not versed in law and whatnot. However, that's why you should have an attorney, because the attorney knows exactly what to say, because law is kind of like a game of chess, and if you've never played chess before, you could be good at checkers, you could be good at chutes and ladders, you could be good at all these other things. But if you don't know how to play chess, you're better off letting someone who does know how to play chess for you. So, of course, I'm talking about Adam Kokesh. And he got arrested, he gets to court, and he doesn't say anything. And the judge says, I will take your silence as consent. Now, for you and I, that sounds like the judge is assuming, the judge is putting words in Adam's mouth, even though he didn't say anything, and that does make a level of logical sense to us. But what I want to do is I want you to flip the coin on this one, and I want you to really see the perspective of why that statement was made. Let's say, you've been hanging out with a bunch of friends, had a few drinks, you meet these really cute girls, whatever. You go back to their apartment for the after bar, and you drink it some more. You're having this wonderful conversation with this female, and next thing you know, you're in her room. Some clothes start coming off, and eventually, one thing leads to another, and then you wake up in the morning, and the girl says, "You raped me." Nowhere in the process did she say no. So let's look at that on a much broader spectrum, okay? If you are being violated, or if something is happening to you against your will, you have not only the right but the duty to say no. Otherwise, the other person involved has no idea, or in the case of the police and whatnot, and all of the ridiculous laws that are being passed, then you will lose those rights because you don't invoke them. You don't say, I do not consent to you searching my vehicle. I do not consent to being detained. I do not consent to this line of questioning. So if you don't say no, if you don't invoke your rights, then someone will take advantage of you. And the sad part is 9 times out of 10, those officers don't really fully understand that they are violating their rights. Those military officers that are now patrolling American streets don't understand that they're violating their rights. That guy that's in that bedroom with that girl doesn't understand that he's violating her because she hasn't said no. So my advice in this scenario is to, 1, stand up for your rights and invoke them, and you have to be very assertive and don't bend. There's no compromise, okay? 2, Adam, seek counsel, okay? There are going to be, God, I know this guy, he talks too damn much sometimes. I'm worried that you're going to put your foot in your mouth. You released a statement saying, yes, it was a real gun, yes, it wasn't. It's like, oh my God, you could have made that video, and then it would have been on the state to prove that that was a real gun, that wasn't green screen. Because people were asking those questions, and let it be what it is. You stood up for what you believed in. I think you're an idiot, but I mean, you kind of put yourself in that position where you felt like you had to do it. You couldn't back down. You had to save face, and so you went and you did it. And then people questioned that, and then you felt the need that, like, who cares what everybody else thinks, bro? You don't have to be this freaking celebrity all the damn time. All right, just listen to me. You should have never said anything. And then the burden of proof would have been on the state. You would have beat this case. But now what you have is you were standing up for gun rights, which is very admirable. And you wanted to do an armed march on the Capitol. Illegal. Even though it's unconstitutional, it's still a law. And you're going to have to take this to Supreme Court. But I don't think it's going to end well for you. The irony of the whole thing is because you stood up for your gun rights, that they're gonna shaft you in the court system, and they're gonna take away your right to bear arms, even though it's not constitutional. Even convicted felons, in my opinion, should be able to have a gun. The only time your right to bear arms should be taken away is if you misuse a firearm, or if you because I mean, come on, man. People, they break something that's worth more than $1,000, and they haven't changed the law, even though the dollar's worth this now. So, something that's worth $1,000 now is worth about $100, or vice versa. Worth $100 then. So back then, if you would have kicked a car, or if you would have, I don't know. It's sad, man. I wish that when I was calling you, that you would have answered instead of texting me out of frustration. Like, why the hell are you calling me? Quit fucking calling me. Because I didn't want this to happen to you, douchebag. God, sometimes your fucking ego is just way too big. And it frustrates me because I care about you, And I don't want bad things like this to happen to you. So I'm going to see what I can do about getting some legal counsel for you. And I hope that we can get you out of jail at least. I know you won't take the bail, but we'll come bail you out any damn way. I'm going to sit you down, and I'm going to give you a long, 4-hour cussing, because you need it. Okay? Seek counsel, because you're not going to get out of this one on your own. You're just going to, your stubbornness and your ego are going to get in the way, and you're going to lose everything that you thought you were fighting for. So, that being said, Adam Kokesh, I love you, brother. I will do my best to help you out. And to everyone else who hears this message, consent, or silence does pretty much equal consent, Somebody walks into your house and takes your television and starts walking out the door. If you don't say, hey, what are you doing? Then you're basically telling them, hey, you could have my TV. And that's what's happened with our rights. That's what's happened with our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. That's what's happened to our freedoms. That's what's happening to our way of life. It's being taken away, and if you don't say anything about it, then silence is consent. So, this is Eric from Weird Change, Daily Rant. Love you.